What's going on, Facebook? I have been on a roll this week. I am grateful. I take nothing for granted. Literally, I don't take anything for granted. Every day is a joy to behold, and I literally look at it like that. And don't get me wrong, I have my ups and downs, my preferences, and all the rest of that. But I don't take things lightly. I enjoy myself, but I just look at it for what it is. I'm grateful every single day. Hey, Pastor Luckett, good to see you. Hey, Calvin, what's going on, man? You know, Pastor Luckett, I hope you got that message. I sent you a text message for the members of St. Paul. So hopefully you got that. And if you did get that, I definitely plan on honoring that. Hey, what's up, Mike? Good seeing you, man. This is, how would I say it? It's not a last ditch effort, but it's a last opportunity for me to publicly present and offer what I consider some serious value to those of you on Facebook, to those of you that are in, I guess, a 100-mile radius of this week's conference. But it's not so much about the conference, not solely. There's a lot riding on what I want to share to you today, and what I want to share with you versus to you. I want to share with you are things that you can get out of being with me, and things that you can get out of a conference in general. Now, this week in particular, I wrote down a couple of things because I think a lot of times people overlook or don't understand the true value of giving of themselves. I'm not talking about their money. I'm talking about giving of themselves. You know, your time, you cannot get back. I get that. And this is the thing that matters most. We don't always spend our time wisely. You know, we'll spend our money very foolishly, but we don't spend our time very wisely. And I think there are a lot of lessons you can learn just on life's daily occurrences. All you got to do is be quiet and observe, literally. I mean, if you just sit down and watch the people around you, the things that happen around you, it's almost like you at a show every day. You know, the crazy stuff, the positive stuff, you know, the in-between stuff. Every single day, you can get so much value from the things that happen around you if you're not careful and you're observant. And that's one thing my pops told me a long time ago. He said, Charles, watch the people around you. And at the time, I'm like, what are you talking about? But now, many moons later, I understand oh so clearly. So again, today I want to talk to you a little bit about, you know, the way you can learn at a workshop or a conference, because there are a lot of different nuances, a lot of nuggets, a lot of insights and tips that are going on right in front of your face when you're at a live event. And you, what's up, Kareem? And you may not even realize that you're positioned perfectly to learn, and you're being taught, but are you actually getting the message? That's right. You're being taught, but are you actually getting the message? I strongly advise get your pen and paper out, because there's some things I want to share with you that, of course, you can watch it on the broadcast, but write it the first time and it will stick with you for a lifetime. If you got to go back to the broadcast, you might not get it, because you might not go back to the broadcast. So write it the first time and it'll stick with you for a lifetime. You know, there are things that happen before all of us. And sometimes if our third eye isn't in tune with what's going on around us, we miss the entire message. You know, and I've done it. You know, I didn't realize there was so much meat that I missed. There's money I've left on the table. So how did I know that if I missed it? Well, because the next time that I was attracted to that same lesson, that same person, that same opportunity, I heard the same information, but it resonated the second time. And on the second time, it seemed to be more meaningful, because I realized, wow, okay, now it makes sense. Well, it made sense the first time. I just wasn't paying attention. or something distracted me, right? So, again, there's a lot of lessons that you can learn through life's daily occurrences. Just pay attention, keep your eyes open. Don't let technology and all the devices distract you. That's truth. Now, some of the other examples I can give you, for example, if you have an appointment and you need to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, you don't need to leave at 7:30. You don't need to leave at 7. If you can prepare, I'm not saying be there 2 hours early, but if you can prepare to be there 2 hours early, you might get there an hour or half an hour early. Because what you may not realize, the benefit is actually in leaving early. The benefit is actually being prepared. The benefit is actually calming down your mind so that you can be there. Because there may be an accident on the train. There may be an accident on the highway. There's no telling what could happen. You could get stuck in the elevator. So if the appointment is important enough, if you're showing up to work, if it's an interview, if it's trying to pitch a client on your sales, on your services, you've got to be on point. So that's why it's important to realize life's daily occurrences and preparation, things like that. Those are examples of how you learn and take advantage of learning. Maybe even if you benefit from, you see two people arguing. Well, you may have been there from the beginning and you see what they're arguing about. You learn because you see how two people either miscommunicate or simply straight up misunderstand each other. Those are different ways that you learn without having to be in the mix. So you say, well, what does all this got to do with learning at conferences and workshops? Because once you know why you're in an environment, what are you there for? Your mind is open to absorb information. And if you really, I say it all the time, but you're careful, right? In other words, if you intentionally want to learn, you will be aware of everything that's happening in your immediate environment. Now, you may not learn from everything at that time, but you will be aware. There's some things you will learn, and sometimes you'll pick up things later on, or you pick up things the next time. But it's always about really being in the moment, being conscious, being like a sponge. You absorb things. You ever go to church and the pastor says, you get that when you get home. Well, if the message really resonated with you and you get part of the message and you're thinking about it, you literally may understand a lot better after you've thought about it for a while. You get the rest of it later on. Same thing. You go to a workshop, you go to a conference, the speaker says something, everyone laughs but you, and you're wondering what's so funny, or what did I miss? Well, if you think about it, sometimes it occurs to you later on. And it's the same thing with any workshop or conference. If you're dialed in, if you're in the zone with the purpose of being there, especially if it's a speaker or a trainer that's singing your song. I mean, they're talking about a topic that you're really interested in, that you're really excited about. That works. Another example may be, let me just move on. I just want to say that this upcoming conference on Saturday and Sunday is going to be historic. It really is. Number one, you're going to have a conference taking place in a gaming environment. So you're going to have business energy versus fun energy. And it's like friction. You ever see when you rub your feet on the ground, or you have socks on, you rub your feet on the carpet and you get that static, that clang? Well, that's higher energy. So you're going to have two combustible, well, not really combustible. All right, I'll dial it down a little bit. It's not combustible, but you're going to have two types of friction, static building up, two type of charges building up, which makes a pop. You get that pop simply because you get static from your socks and static from the carpet. And that friction, it makes something happen. It builds up an energy. Now, I don't know the scientific form for it or how you would express it, but I know everyone on this broadcast has experienced getting shocked from rubbing their hands on the carpet and touching something wool, or they take off their sweater and they pull it over their head. And as they pull the sweater over their head, they get that static cling pop. It's the same thing. You're going to take people in a business environment, in a gaming environment, and that's two different types of energy. It heightens the energy level of the environment that you're in. And that's what we're doing this Saturday and Sunday at Dave and Buster's. Change Mastery, Training to Triumph. So number one, what you're going to get a lot of personal and professional development information. So write this down. This is why you need to be there. You're going to get a lot of personal and professional development information. Hey, Doc, how you doing? Hey, Sharon, thanks for joining in. Rose, good to see you there as well. Hey, Michelle, good to see you again as well. Yes. So specifically, okay, what kind of personal and professional development? I know that's so generic. What does that mean, right? Well, let me break it down a little specifically, a little more detailed. For instance, we're going to expose you to some of the insights on publishing, on coaching, on literally on personal development, on different aspects of professional development, on podcasting. You know, we have people with expertise in all these areas, in training even. We're going to be bringing this information directly to you Saturday and Sunday. You're going to have a chance to ask questions. You're going to have a chance to participate, and it's going to be going down live. And none of this stuff recorded. Nothing is staged. These people, this is what they do, and they're bringing the information to you. So you need to find out how to get there. If you know Bishop David Sabatino, if you know Sharon Parker, if you know Mr. Doc Mangum, if you know Reverend Allison Daniels, if you know me, if you know Dominic, if you know Troy Holt, if you know Dutch Martin, if you know Pete O'Shea and Shannon Fitzpatrick, if you know Taylor K. Stevens, if you know Kim Yanzari, you want to find out how to get there, because I am telling you, we are holding nothing back. Last year was off the hook. We were at the Hampton Inn, and we had a great time. People came out. They were educated. They were inspired. They were encouraged, and it went over well. So I wanted to take it up another notch by going here, Dave and Buster's, right? And I'm getting all excited myself talking to y'all about this. But the reality is, there are a lot of reasons why you need it. And personal and professional development, that's just one. You know, starting off talking about learning from daily experiences or daily occurrences, that's just another one. That's two, right? What you may find with the topics I mentioned, the podcasting, the personal development, the publishing, the training, what you might find is that you'll get a chance to be educated or learn on topics you have an interest in. I mean, that's a no-brainer, but that's the long and short of it. Everyone has an interest in something, and sometimes, you know, when you go to these events, you get a chance to get the inside track. Let me see. I see some comments being made. So let me just check out the commentary for a second, and then I'll come right back to where I left off. Sharon was saying, learn to communicate and you will learn something you need to apply to your life and business. Absolutely, Sharon. That's the point of it all. Okay. Get ready for the shock. Yes, that's right. Get ready for the shock. And that's, you know what? We might make that at a conference in the future. Get ready for the shock, right? The shock factor. Doc Mangum says he's looking forward to it. That's great. And by all means, if you have questions or comments, folks, please put your questions or your comments in the feed. I'll read them. I'll give you the shout out. And I would love for you to, challenge me somewhat. Let me show that I'm saying something that either you believe or don't believe, or, I need to prove by, giving you an explanation. I don't mind. That's how I roll. So let's do it. Let's see. Yes, Doc, I plan on doing just that. Yes, sir. Okay, I'm just gonna make sure I don't miss anyone's comments. Yes. Okay, so this is the deal. I'm gonna go back to the personal development. You already know the topics, but the benefit is not just being around those things, the personal development, the podcasting. It's about sometimes when you're interested in something, you learn from that, but you may also find that you may discover an interest in something in those areas that initially you did not have an interest in. And you may discover something because of the way it's being presented to you, the way you're being fed, the way it's being shown, taught. That's powerful, because sometimes everyone doesn't respond from the same stimuli. Some people want that real calm, monotone, one level energy that comes right at them just like this. Hey, for whatever reason, some people want that. And some people want that crazy over the top. Yeah, this is how you, that's what some people want. Some people need that. Some people need a balance of the two. They need that high energy and they need that simplicity when it comes to making sense of it. And I assure you, with the presentations and the presenters, the speakers, the trainers, the coaches, the publishers, the authors that are going to be at the conference, you will get a little bit of all of that. Now let's move on. Another thing you may get from the conference, you get a chance to network with each other. You get a chance to network with other people that are coming to this conference just like you, because they want the same things you want. They want to learn about the various topics that we're offering. They want to learn how it's done. They want to learn if they can do it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, that's number 3. 3A, if I will, would be you also get to talk to the pros, the professionals that are presenting the information, the ones that have actually done the work. It's great to get to network with people that are just like you. They're seeking the information. They're walking in the same direction. But there's nothing like getting the chance to talk to the host of the event and finding out what you need to find out. Getting a chance to talk to someone that speaks on a certain level of expertise that you already know you've got an interest in. You just want to know, how did Allison get the chance to publish 31 books? How did she do it? You get a chance to talk to Bishop David Sabatino as he talks about, he's breaking it down bite by bite, having a vision and an action plan. What? Are you kidding me? That's not usually the norm. Now, there may be times when you get a chance to do that, but they're few and far in between. And trust me, I know. How do I know? Because I've gone to conferences on various levels, from fee to free. And sometimes you literally can't speak to the presenters, even at the free ones. Why? Because it's a huge audience or auditorium. There's a big platform. They're being ushered in. They're being ushered off. You might see them as they're coming out the side door to go to their next thing, or as they're leaving they're leaving the conference. But you don't usually get to have a conversation. I heard Taylor talking about this earlier this week. She did a couple of Facebook Lives talking about the fact that one of the biggest takeaways, you get a chance to talk to the pros, the people that are actually doing it. Kimyon and Taylor, they're coaches. I mean, I'm a coach too, but I'm not trying to be all things to all people all the time. You get a chance to talk to them about coaching. In fact, we're going to have a panel discussion about coaching. So that's number 3. Well, 3A, right? You get a chance to actually interact or network with others, and you get a chance to network with the people that are actually bringing the information to you. Let me go down the line. What's next? Ah, yes. There's nothing like being hit with a fresh dose of fill in the blank. Whatever the topic is, now I'm sure you've heard the word before. I'm sure you've heard of the topic before, but that does not mean you've heard it presented the way it's going to be presented at this conference. Like, everybody knows what coaching is, basically. Everybody knows what training is, basically. But have you heard our coaches, our trainers presenting the information the way that they do? And see, that's what I mean about sometimes being hit with a different stimuli. Someone may be speaking on a topic you've heard about and you figure, I already know about that. But you've never heard Bishop David Sabatino talk to you about the point of having a vision and an action plan. You've never heard Doc Mangum talk to you about the various components or perspectives on blended family. Blended family is deep. Almost everybody on here right now has been a part of blended family from some perspective, myself included, for sure. So I'm just telling you what I know. and it's not hype. This is real. If you don't feel that you come to this conference and that you get what you want, get your money back. I'll put it out there because I know the people that are presenting, and they're not, okay, let me keep it PG. They're bringing it real. They're the real deal. They're authentic. They have the credibility. They put in the work to get the credibility, or the credentials, I should say, to do what they do. And they are the real deal. History even. You know, I know Sharon, she loves history. Almost every day I got to hear about her relating something to history. If it ain't the Power of Five, it's talking about Frederick Douglass and his anniversary, or Martin Luther King's 55th. Emmett Till. I mean, she's always going on and on about history, and she's right. It is that important. History is something that you shouldn't try to break away from, because if you don't know your history, as they say, you're bound to repeat your history. And if it's a negative, who wants to repeat a negative? So you learn from the negative and turn it into a positive. So you're likely to hear things from a new perspective, a fresh approach on all of these topics, all of them. And we learned that last year, because when it came out to the Change Mastery Profiles of Triumph Conference, which some of these presenters were there and were presenting, the response was awesome. The response was absolutely awesome. We got people coming from all over the country: Florida, Texas, North Carolina, Maryland, DC, New York, Virginia. I mean, look, it just is what it is. Okay, what else? Let's say number 5. You're going to get exposed to how all of this goes down. You know, there's no real curtain. In some venues, there's a curtain. You can't see what the players are doing before they come out and speak and all that. And that's cool. In fact, that's really nice. That makes it look a lot more polished, as far as like television ready, right? But you're going to be exposed to the behind the scenes view. You're going to see some of the presenters coming up to speak, having come from the audience. You're going to see some of the presenters either getting mic'd up, that means putting a microphone on, a lapel mic, or grabbing the mic and testing it, check 1, 2, before they go to speak, because they want to make sure that they're ready. And you don't always get to see that. Sometimes you're just there and they seem to just come out of nowhere behind the stage, up from the side of the stage, and they get to the platform and they start speaking. Look, I am telling you, probably for like the 5th or 6th time, right? Let me see what's going on. Wait a minute. Yeah, wait, that's Sharon's, that's her phrase. Wait a minute. History matters. Yes, and so many great opportunities along with it. Time to lead within. Yeah, that's Sharon's thing, leading within. But you're going to learn from the behind the scenes. You're going to see the setup, maybe in some cases, maybe part of the breakdown. You're going to see just how it's done, you know? And if you have an interest in doing something like this, meaning being a speaker, putting on your own event, I highly advise you, with the materials we're going to be giving you, that you take some notes. Just like I hope you're taking notes now. And please share this out, y'all. Share this information out, because it's not just about you. It's definitely not just about me, but it's not just about you. Somebody you know can benefit from this information. Somebody you know wants this information. Share it in your group. I don't know what groups you're with or what groups you're in, but somebody needs to hear what we're talking about and what we're doing. Yeah, I can put it in the feed. Can somebody put in the feed cmpotevents.com? That's a website, because I'm telling you, if you register and just come in at general admission, I'll make sure to give you, oh, he's right here, my new book, which is being debuted this weekend, After the Diagnosis. This is part of the Radiate the Brain and Change the Game series, After the Diagnosis, From Crack to Cancer to Cure. This book I'm dedicating to the cancer community, because some people don't handle stress well. When the doctor says you've got cancer, or you've got sugar diabetes, or you got high blood pressure, you've got hypertension, whatever the ailment is, especially if it's life-threatening, everybody can't handle it. Some people freak out. Some people simply give up. And it doesn't make them bad people or weak people, but everyone's temperament, everyone's character, everyone's in a je ne sais quoi, when you don't have the right word, right? That je ne sais quoi, the I don't know what. Je ne sais quoi is not the same. So I wrote this book, a challenge by Delatoro McNeil, at a conference, in the middle of a conference with several hundred people. Haven't you written a book for the cancer community? So I wrote this book thinking about people that are going through the same thing I've gone through, and the same thing that every day, I don't know how many people are being diagnosed with cancer or any other life-threatening ailment. So when you register today or by tomorrow, you'll get a copy of that book along with your admission, and you will also get what else? Oh, you get the swag bag with all of our information, and we're going to be having. I'm jumping the gun. I'll say that we're going to have something that I'll share with you in a few minutes. This is the flyer for the event. We're really excited about what we're doing, guys. We're really excited. These are the presenters, and bam, you just saw this already. The book was forwarded by my good friend, Dr. Willie Jolly, and I got endorsements from Simon T. Bailey, the great Cheryl Wood. You all know Cheryl Wood. Go Cheryl. Woohoo! My main man with the plan, Sean DeRoe, the money maker, the money mentor. In fact, he's a mentor that helps you make money. Sean is the man. Thanks, Sharon. She put in the website. There's right here. Bam. So anyway, okay. So what else do you learn about going to a conference or a workshop if you're really paying attention? If you're really paying attention, you also learn the technical side, meaning I alluded to it a little earlier. You'll see people getting microphones and putting lapel mics and getting their slides ready, and maybe doing some live streaming. A lot of times you probably see people always on Facebook, and you don't know how they did it, or you do know how they did it, but you've never done it. Well, you'll be right next to someone that will probably be doing it. Simple. That will probably be doing it. So we're excited about that as well. And it's just going to be a great time. You're going to get a chance to learn a lot. What else? Okay. Last but not least, and far from least, because we are in a gaming environment, it's going to be fun. Yes. We're literally going to have fun. And why do I mean we're going to have fun? Well, how does outside of the conference space make it fun for the inside? Well, that energy is going to spill over, number one. Number two, we're going to do the Radiate the Brain game. If you've seen Fast Money, like on Steve Harvey's family, if you already know Fast Money Round, we're going to do our own version of Fast Money. And yes, you will receive gifts if you win. But it's going to be fun, and then we're going to have line dance by the inline dancers. Look, I'm telling you what I know. If you're really real about expanding your education as an entrepreneur, about getting better at what you want to do, then you need to be at this conference. Again, it's Change Mastery Training to Triumph. The hashtag is CMTTT18, and I want you to be there. I really do. I want you to be there because, I know you're going to get a lot out of it. And that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to help you take your game to the next level. You don't always got to be in the bleachers trying to learn. You can be right there on the front row, getting it in with everybody else. So let's see, what is Doc saying? I believe when the preset scripts are removed, it opens the door for true authenticity. I'll read that again. Doc Mangum says, I believe when the preset scripts are removed, it opens the door for true authenticity. And I agree. A lot of times we try to always come prim and proper and turn this way, turn that way, and do all those things. Those things are part of the process, but that's a very mechanical aspect to it. Just being who you are and giving from your heart, from your soul, is going to get the job done. And I want everyone that comes away from this conference to really get it. Again, I'm excited about it. I thank those that got on today's broadcast. my man Kareem, Sharon, Dr. Mangum, Bacardi. Who else was on today? Rose. Thanks, Rose, for jumping on. Calvin, Pastor Luckett, Mike. Yo, I'm just saying. You know what the kids say, right? I'm just saying. No, I really appreciate you. I'm trying to have a little fun with you as we close it out. But that's it in a nutshell. If I keep going, I might as well just start the conference right now. So I can't do that. But blended families is going to be a really important segment, as well as the panel discussions on training and history. And I mean, I don't know. I can't even pick a segment that I think I would prefer over the other, because they're all going to be good. They're just going to be very good. And yes, I know I'm biased, but judge for yourself. Prove me wrong. I'd love to see you there. Like I said, you come on to get registered. Registration is only $97. Most conferences, general admission may be $297. Our VIP is $297. And what you get for the VIP, you get fed both days. You get the power-up cards. You get the swag bag that has books in it. So I know Sharon's got books she's going to be donating. Doc Mangum, myself. Downloads are going to be available to you. You're going to get, it's just so much, guys. It literally is so much. That's at the VIP level. $97, you're still going to get a lot. You're still going to get a lot. You're going to get the swag bag. You're going to get the chance to talk to everybody. You're going to get, if you register now, you're going to get a copy of the new book, After the Diagnosis. So I've got just 48 hours, maybe not even that, 48 hours in its game time. All right. Again, thanks everyone for joining, and I'll see y'all later. I'm over my time. This was only supposed to be about 20 minutes. I am out. Remember, radiate the brain, change the game. See you guys next time. Unless there are questions, I'm sorry. No questions, we're out of here. I'll answer them after the broadcast.